Bad lead off.
Yes.
Yeah, can you just talk about what it feels like to be going and playing your alma mater, back where you spent a lot of time?
Yeah, that's a place that really gave me a lot in my life. You know, met my wife there, had one of my children there, started my really D1 coaching career there. A lot of incredible relationships, incredible people. The experience of really being able to be brought into the culture was a great experience. Just as a young man, diving into, you know, you get there. I got there as a JC transfer, and it takes time. But the local boys like Chris Brown, Stutz, I mean, these guys really took me in to, and hey, don't do that. Don't do that. We don't do that here. You know, things like that. Those are really important factors when you go to live at a new place, especially Hawaii. I think you got to respect the culture. You know, the Hawaiian history is pretty fascinating to me, some of those stories, and just really enjoy it. But really excited to see the people that I had so many laughs with and great experiences with.
And this game will matter to them, right?
Will it? I've been on the other side, you know, and I know what this means. This is a Power 4 team coming into the island. They're playing really well. Timmy's done a great job. They're playing awesome on defense. He's got the offense clicking. They've got a confidence. They've got a toughness. They've got a real obvious element of being together in their games, and you know, they're a scary team. Hawaii's a scary team on the island when they're playing well, and that will be conveyed to our guys.
Can you describe your relationship right now with Timmy and Chris, and kind of do you talk to them?
I love them both. Yeah, talked to them both throughout the last few years for sure. You know, especially Timmy. You know, I was able to sit in the seat he's sitting in. I told him there's only a couple people that really know some of the things you're going through, and I loved my experience there. This is your time. If I could ever help you, that was important. But you know, what a great job he's done, really. I mean, there's a way to do it in Hawaii. He knows how to do it, and it's not easy. And there's a constant grind, but also, you know, there's a grind, but there's also this element that you continue to live in aloha and bring the team, whether it's the transfers or the mainland guys, into the culture. And you know, he's got a good equation going right now.
Chris had a media availability. He mentioned that suggested us to ask about the time your moped got taken.
Yeah, they're very mean. They were very mean. Here's another trip, or a piece of advice: don't mess with the local boys when you get there, because they will get you back. They will get you back. But awesome teammate. With the story about Chris Brown, we were at SMU 2001, and we were down to SMU, and you know, we were struggling a little bit, and he pulled me aside. We believe in you. You're our guy. And we ended up coming back and winning the game. I'll never forget that, because from then on, I really felt truly a part of it, of just everything that Hawaii has to offer. And we've talked about that moment many times at halftime at SMU. And that was important to me in my career. And, you know, or the time he took me spearfishing, Waimanalo side, and, you know, you see that fish that's got a lot of vowels and starts with an H, and the state fish, he's like, don't shoot that one. You know what I mean? But also, if you're gonna go fishing, we're gonna eat it. We're gonna, you know, there's just certain things you do over there, and he was big help for me.
Yeah, because the trend in bowl games programs throughout the country where a lot of guys sit out, maybe they're planning to go to the NFL, whatever. Have any of the players made it clear that they're not going to be playing for?
We had one. I don't know if I announced it or okay. Don't have a reason. I think it's just what he feels is best right now. But not at this point. I don't think. I mean, down the road, I think it's a younger player who's looking for a change. But I appreciate that he was honest. He came up to me, told me. I, you know, shared the information with the people, and some pretty good excitement out there to be together again, a little get-back practice. So But yeah, no, it's happened all over the country. But this team has really kind of tightened up, in the last few weeks, and I think they get to play together one more time in Hawaii, and I think they're excited, especially like the local boys like Stanley and Jaron. We'll be able to do this. They're very excited to show off their home to their teammates, because I think there was a lot of, I don't know when Stanley got here, but I know when Jaron got here, there was a lot of, it's like me going to Hawaii. When Jaron came over here, he needed to understand the cultural elements of Cal, Bay Area, all those things. And I think there were a lot of teammates that helped him and Aiden, at least that I got to witness this year. And I think when you are able to flip it, and Jaron and Aiden and Stanley are able to show off their home to their teammates that they love, I think that's something that's very important to the local people, as far as understanding as best you can the culture and doing it right, and don't make the mistakes to really embarrass the program or not respect the culture.
Most of those guys from Hawaii live together too, right?
Yeah. As far as I know, yeah.
Have you flip it? To Jacob DeJesus?
Yes.
When I mention the name Jacob DeJesus, what comes to your mind?
Hard work. He has one way he attacks this. He never takes his foot off the gas, and we have to pull him back in practice, but to everyone sees what he does in games, but if you look at what he does in practice, he's always the highest player loaded guy. He's always running the most. He's always running the hardest. I think that comes a little bit from being under-recruited in high school, having to go to JC, and I respect the JC grind more than a lot of people. He did the same thing at UNLV and has been an incredible piece added to this year's roster at Cal.
I certainly wouldn't say he was underutilized the first 9 games, but you guys really utilized him the last 3 games. Was that a function of how good he had been the first 9 games, maybe the injuries in the backfield, or maybe a combination?
It's probably in the combination world. I don't know if there was this emphasis to get Jacob more the last 3 games. I think it just the opportunities presented itself in the offense. But I don't remember any conversation where, hey, we got to get Jacob more balls or more attempts or anything like that.
Following on that, look, the guy's catching the ball. He's all over the field. He's returning punts. He's returning kickoffs. You ever worry about him getting tired?
Yeah, we do a lot. And kind of back to the catapult and the player load stuff, that's something he's the one we needed to monitor the most. And I think our strength guys do an incredible job with that as far as presenting the information, allowing adjustments to practice. When you pull off for Seth, hey, pull off Jacob a little bit in this period, or he doesn't have to take these reps here, just for the longevity of the season. But the way he's worked up until this point, and I'm sure he'll do it for the rest of his life. I think it's important that he takes care of his body. He's got a real mature mindset with it.
Have you talked to Tosh, and would you be interested in the situation here?
Yeah, I talked to Tosh I've got to go through this process twice as a head coach, and that first day, there's not a lot of time, and you want to talk to everybody. You want to talk to the players. You want to talk to the staff. You want to talk to the boosters, the staff. Everybody, but there's only so much time in a day, and I was able to get a few minutes with him. I think he's got a really good plan. I think it's important here's what I told him. I said, I wanted to be the head coach of my alumni. I was able to do that. I understand where your mind is at this, and I respect it. I'm fired up for you. I think he's got a plan, and was there something else to that?
Would you be interested in
Yeah.
staying here?
No, this has been a great experience to me. Cal has been really good for me, and I would be interested in that.
Did he give you any indication of?
We're talking about that.
Have you been familiar with Tosh over the years? Have you had much communication with him, or have you had a chance to observe?
Only the legend of Tosh in recruiting. May have. I don't know if we had ever even shaken hands before, but I think both Bay Area kids, he was kind of known in the recruiting world and coaching world, but that was probably my first real interaction with him, was the day he got hired.
What's the legend of Tosh?
Well, everyone knows he can recruit, and not saying he's not a good football coach, but that's a big element of college football that he's had a lot of success in.
What are your thoughts on the vision that he shared for the direction he wants to take the program?
I think it's his. And when you have your vision, you're not anybody else's. I think I think it truly in his heart has a plan for this place.
Nick, you guys have some momentum right now. A big victory over SMU, and then everything that happened last weekend. How important is it to close the season out with a win there, not just to go to a bowl game?
For the memory of this season for these players, I think it'll be try to emphasize the importance of that. You know, we will go to Hawaii. It'll be enlightening for a lot of guys. It'll be magical for a lot of guys. But to go have those experiences and come away with a win against a team we know is going to play hard. We know they're going to be physical. We know they're going to want to beat us as much as anybody. That'll be something that people will remember for a long time.
You never played or coached at Shane Complex, did you?
Not in a game, practice.
Oh, you did.
Well, that was our practice field for a while. So I've thrown many balls on that. That was old turf, and then, now, we had a lot of practices there when I was the head coach.
What does it mean to this program to know that you have Jaron coming back next year?
Best quarterback in the nation coming back to Cal. I think that's an incredible. I mean, for any institution to be able to say that, I think that gives you the momentum you're looking for going into recruiting, going into next season. And let's not play around. He's not just, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the nation. He's a freshman, and what he's been able to do, the maturity, but not only the elements of the press, the team locker room, the respect he earned, how he was able to process better and better and better throughout the season, always hungry for more as far as being comfortable. I'll be honest, there's times in training camp I was like, he was processing some of the hardest stuff way faster than me, and he works at it, and he's got a good personality as far as interacting with whether it's the other quarterbacks or his other teammates or the defense. That's a big part of playing quarterback too, is being able to connect with a lot of people. And it's been quite a joy for me to be around him. I hope me and him are connected for a long time as friends, because I think he's look, what he is as a quarterback is what he is. I think everyone in here has seen it. But what he is as a person is very good for the game of football. And when you have that combination, it doesn't happen all the time.
Have you told him about the time you threw the 7 touchdown passes against BYU?
No, I didn't tell him that. I think it might have been maybe I told him about it. It might have been 8, but I'm just kidding.
But you got some moments there, don't you?
Well, it was the last game of the season versus BYU. Was the rivalry. It probably doesn't get the attention it deserves, and BYU's doing great things now. But for a long time, the Hawaii-BYU rivalry was very important, at least to the people in Hawaii, because of BYU recruiting the North Shore and some of the LDS student athletes on the island, and some great matchups through the 90s. And then we hadn't played them in a while, and then we were able in 2001 to have that last game. And, it had a similar feeling as SMU for these guys, to me, where it was just there was so much togetherness, so much defense. There was a lot of touchdown passes, but I think the defense got 6 fumbles. It was a complete team win. So, and we were kind of left out of the bowl matchups that year. There was there was an edge to us that day.
That was your last college game?
Yeah.
Way to go out, though.
That was a great way to go out.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I believe your son committed to San Jose State.
He did.
Talk about him and what that means for him.
He's really worked. He's really worked. He really wants this. I've seen my share of quarterback dads, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't how I pushed him. I said, if you want help, I can help you on whether it's scheme, whether it's workout routines, whether it's leadership, but I'm not gonna push it. I want you. You're gonna have to want this, and he gets to go play with Stutz down in San Jose in a system that we were able to kind of somewhat replicate at the high school we were at, and that he's graduating from. So I think he feels comfortable with that. Stutz is like his uncle, and Kenny is a great man. So those things all combined to be a pretty good situation for him.
Have you guys been able to get healthy? Do you have people who were unable to play recently who will be back for the game?
I don't have anybody on my mind in that world. A little bit of flu going around, but I'd rather it happen now than in Waikiki, so we'll get it out of the way.
When are you guys leaving?
19th or 20th? 19th.
You mentioned Jaron and Aiden kind of showing off where they grew up and all that, but is there any sense for Cal, like to kind of show the program off in Hawaii?
Well, I think us being in that game will definitely do that naturally. And not necessarily, I think showing off is a little bit different than helping your teammates understand where you came from and how important some of the things and places and food and values and all that for Aiden and Jaron and all the local Stanley. I'm sure Stanley's really fired up to show people around. So, yeah.
This is a pretty fast-paced industry. When you get off that plane in Hawaii, do you just allow yourself to slow down and kind of soak up the moment, or are you going to show off some of the guys in your version of memory lane?
I don't necessarily plan on taking them down my memory lanes. But I think just you get off the plane, you get the smells, you get the sights. I want them to experience Hawaii. I want them to understand all the elements of an away team coming into Hawaii. You got to be careful. You got the lifeguards, you got the police, you got moped dealers, you got everybody who will report back with information on what our team does, how we treat people, and we can't give them any more ammo to fire them up for the game. We want to go in, we want to respect the place, but also gather as much enjoyment and hopefully cultural experience as we can in the few days we're there.
Do you have one particular memory, either as a player or as a coach at Hawaii?
In what world? Like football world?
Oh, football. Yeah.
It would probably be the BYU game. I have a lot of other memories too. It was a special place for me, and I think it will continue to be for a lot of people who find the value in the complete the whole of the place, not just the football program, the culture in the place.
Anything else? Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Coach.
Thank you.